Good evening again, all of you. Welcome. Today we are going to focus on the beauty of ISL. That is the theme. Well, talking about the beauty, sign language is as old as humanity. Therefore, it is natural that it is beautiful, magnificent, and culturally diversified. So what we do in the next 1.5 hours is to understand ways in which we appreciate its beauty. By no means we are going to say, this is a crash course. Welcome all to sign language in an hour. That's not what we are going to do. We are going to offer some frameworks, tools, and methods by which we can see the beauty of sign language. That's the goal today. As usual, please come up with great questions. We have a distinguished panel here. Neeta and Gopalakrishnan sir were here yesterday and they will be there today. Shafiq, Mr. Shafiq is here, and Deepa Kiran, well-known storyteller, is with us. So I hand over to Neeta for further work. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Him. It's great to come back again today for the second day of this wonderful workshop. So yesterday we had Mr. Gopalakrishnan and we had Mr. Rahul, who shared their practical and lived experience of being deaf sign language users and deaf leaders in the community. So today, like we all know, the topic for discussion is beauty of sign language. So what better way to start this topic than to have a beautiful narration and expression through a story? What do you all say? Okay. So we have with us a very, very dear friend and a wonderful storyteller, Deepa Kiran, with us today. So I'll give you a brief about all the distinguished work that she's done. So she's an award-winning professional storyteller. She's a trainer and educationalist of international repute. She's also engaged with employing magical power of story arts and, meaningful transformation. So her dream is to offer heartfelt connections with conscious communication. So with the beauty of storytelling, she brings stories and learning to so many children through her Story Arts Foundation. She's also given speeches and talks with TEDx. And she trains teachers on how to use the simple yet effective technique of storytelling for teaching children. So Deepa, thank you very much to be part of us today.
Thank you, Hemchandran. Delighted to join you, Shanakal, Rahul, Amrish, and Muhammad Shafiq sir, all of you.
Okay, so Deepa, today we're having a story that we want to tell the audience, but in a very different way, right? You're going to narrate this in the spoken language, and I'm going to simultaneously do it in sign language. Yeah? Okay. Should we start, Deepa?
Oh, yes. I just want to check, is my audio clear?
Very clear.
Cool. Okay.
So just to tell the audience, so you will be seeing me sign. You will hear Deepa's voice. So just enjoy it and have a great time. Yeah.
Come, 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 everybody. Come, everybody. Just for you, I have a story. Come, everybody. Just for you, I have a story. Sometimes nice and sometimes scary. Sometimes nice and sometimes scary. Just for you, I have a story. Come, listen, everybody. Come, everybody. Just for you, I have a story. So, welcome, everyone. Welcome to the. Now, this story is a very long time ago. A time when the sea was not salty. Yes, there was a time when the sea was actually sweet in taste. Yeah. So my story begins, right? That time when the sea was nice and sweet, there lived a woodcutter called Shankar. Chaka, 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 chaka. Chaka, 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 chaka. The woodcutter Shankar would chop the wood. He would go to the forest with his axe, collect all the wood in a bundle, bring the bundle back to his home. And sell it in the market. Yeah. But one day, Shankar made a mistake. Came back home late in the evening. Cha. How foolish of me. Oh, I left my axe in the jungle. My nice, beautiful new axe. What do I do? Should I go back in the dark? Should I forget about my axe? But some animal might take it. Some monkey, bear might take away my axe. So Shankar decided he will go back to the jungle in the dark. He folded his hands, started saying all the prayers. Jai Hanuman Gyani Guru Sagar Jai Gap Sita Bol Ka Age Ram Chuta Dita Batama Drip the Prince Mama Giri Ka Tamni. And he ran into the forest and he found his axe. Yeah. But then it was so dark. Shankar could not even see his hand in the dark. It was pitch dark. He didn't know how to go home. So he was walking around with his axe. And suddenly, zoom, down a hole. And thump, crack, he landed in a cave. He tried to see in the dark. And in the cave, he saw dwarfs, 6 short men, dancing around a bonfire. These 6 men were singing and dancing. Zoom golly golly golly, zoom golly golly, zoom golly golly golly, zoom golly. Yeah. So a bonfire, 6 men dancing around. Zoom golly golly golly, zoom golly golly. They were short men with long silver beards and long silver hair. And they kept dancing around the bonfire. Golly, 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 zoom, golly, golly, zoom, golly, 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 zoom, golly, fight, zoom, golly, golly, golly. And Shankar was watching. That bonfire, the flames were dying because the wood was getting burnt. When the flames became very small, all the people became sad. Now Shankar, he quickly took his axe. He found his way slightly outside the cave. He found a tree. He chopped some wood again. He brought it bonfire again. The fire was big again. Once again, the gods started dancing. Gali, 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 zum, gali, gali, zum, gali, 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 zum, gali, zum, gali, gali, gali. And all night, this happened again and again. The flames would become small, the dwarfs would become sad. Shankar will go and chop some more wood, light up the fire. Once again, they danced all night, again and again. And in the morning, the leader of the dwarfs, the old man, he was very happy and he gave Shankar a gift. Shankar took it. What is this? He asked. It's a magical fan. If you swish it 3 times, one, two, and ask for whatever you want, you will get it. But once you get it, remember, you must remember to close the fan and say, thank you, it's enough. Shankar takes the fan. back running when the sun came up. He went home. In the house, he was so hungry. He opened the fan. And he switched it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Can I have a plate of biryani, please? He asked. Ding! A plate of biryani appeared. Yummy, tasty, hot, delicious. Shankar started eating. By then, ding! One more plate of biryani appeared. Ding! One more plate of biryani appeared. Ding! One more plate of biryani appeared. And he said, what is this? Yeah. He had forgotten to close the fan and say thank you. It's enough. So Shankar closed the fan and said, thank you.
Mhm.
Yes. Now, Shankar thought, if I have a little nice house to stay, how good. So he opened the fan. 1, 2, 3. Can I have a nice house, please? Ding! A house appeared. And immediately Shankar closed the fan and said, thank you. That is enough. He was very happy in his new house. Now Shankar's neighbor, he thought, I am also a woodcutter. How come this fellow has such a big, nice, special? I should find out the secret, huh? So Shankar's neighbor, Kumarappa, he went to Shankar's house. He knocked on the door. Yes, namaste. Hello, Shankar. I heard you got some new house and lot property, some money, something. Very nice, very nice. Very good. Shabash, shabash. Congratulations. Tell me, what is the secret? And Shankar said, when I had gone to the jungle and I lost my axe, I went back, I met these dwarfs, they gave me a fan. And if you 3 times, 1, 2, 3, you can ask for whatever you want. And when, oh, if you move it 3 times, you'll get whatever you want, is it? Oh, fantastic, fantastic. Kumarappa interrupted Shankar. The story. Very good, yaar. Nice magic. You are keeping it careful, you know. You can't trust all these fellows around, you know. Yes, yes. I have kept it under my bed in the bedroom, Shankar said. So the next day, what should happen? But Kumarappa, he came stealthily at night into Shankar's house, crawled under the bed and opened the locker, quietly took out the fan And he ran and ran and ran and ran and ran and ran and ran all away from this village, far, far away, so far away that he reached his grandmother's village, which was near the sea. So Kumarappa knew that he had traveled. Now he could rest a bit. Just then, he saw that the people were leaving. There was a nice procession bidding goodbye. People were going to set sail in the ship to Burma. And Kumarappa thought, this is, I will escape with the fan to another country altogether. And he also went into the ship. This is only for merchants. Merchant, are you a trader? They asked Kumarappa. Yeah, I'm a trader. Yes. Is it? Then what do you sell? I sell salt. I'm a salt trader. Yeah, salt. All right then. You can buy your ticket. So he bought his ticket. He got the ship and happily sailed off to Burma. When the ship was in the middle of the ocean, the captain called Kumarappa. Said, Mr. Kumarappa, small problem here. You can help us. Yes, sir, I can help. What is it? Please tell me. You see, we have run out of salt in our kitchen. Our chef needs some salt. And we heard that you are a salt trader. So could you please lend us some salt, or we could buy the salt from you? Yes, sir. No problem. Kumarappa said, and ran into his life. Where will you get? You liar! Why did you tell lies and get into the ship? He was cursing himself. And then he noticed his fan. Opened the fan 1, 2, 3 times. He switched it and he said, can I have a bag of salt, please? Ding! A bag of salt. He went and handed it over to the guy. Where is your bag of salt, sir? But by the time he came back, he's in his cabin. It was full of salt bags. Soon the entire ship started filling bags. Doing. And the bags started pouring in. Pouring. And Kumarappa was saying, hey, stop, enough, I'm telling you, no, listen to me, it's stupid, you this fellow. He said everything except thank you, that is enough. And that's how the salt bag pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring into the oceans. So much salt in the oceans. Finally, somebody informed the dwarfs about it, and they pulled out the magic from the fan. But it was too late. Salt had fallen into the sea, that the sea had become salty. So that's the story of how the sea became salty. So the next time you go to the shore, do remember to look out for the Thank you. Thank you. Thank you,
Great.
Neela.
Thank you so much, Deepa.
Because where is that store which want to buy the fan?
It's not for greedy people.
So now we know why the sea is salty. We knew this before. So. Okay, so you all must have seen how a story as enjoyable as this can also be, enjoyed by deaf people through sign language. So I will now ask Mr. Gopalakrishnan to take us through a bit of history of sign language, just to let us know what sign language is and its beauty. So I have a presentation which I will just share.
This is Gopalakrishnan sir here. So I'm very happy to be here for the second session. And we heard Ms. Deepa Kiran's story, very beautiful story. We could all understand what it was. So now let's talk about sign language. Sign language, as you know, is a visual language used for communication. For hearing people who cannot hear, it's very difficult for them to understand speech. And that is the reason they have invented something called sign language. For example, there are different signs, like for the sign for the word train can be signed in different ways. And now we have the metro rail. So, in earlier days, we did not have the metro rail or the electric engine train or something like that. We had the steam engine. But right now we have the metro rail and everything. So things are changing, and similarly, the signs also change since it's more visual. And similarly, for TV, for the TV also, for the televisions. So long time back, we used to have the dial to change channels, but now we can use the remote control to change channels. So when I sign like this, that means it's a remote control. It could be a remote control for the TV or for games or for the car, anything like that. So as you know, that sign language is native language of the deaf people. So when a child is born, so he acquires the language from the mother and the father, from the parents. So for deaf children, for them to acquire language, it is better for them to learn sign language because it's very natural. So a newborn baby does not know how to speak immediately. So it has to acquire speech, it has to understand, it has to learn sounds from its environment and then start speaking. And also, like when we sign, we need a lot of facial expressions, Without facial expressions, it's very difficult to understand what the word is. So if you are happy, then you have a raised eyebrow. If you're sad, you have a lower eyebrow. If you're angry, then your eyes are, like popping out or something like that. So we have different kinds of expressions. So if a person is angry, so how can, like how do we know that a person is angry? So usually what happens is the person who's angry, his voice becomes very loud, his speech is very loud and all that. So we can understand the person is angry. So for a deaf person, he needs to see the expressions on the face and how the body is reacting, so to understand if a person is angry. And even, like if you want to specify the time, for example, the past tense, the future tense, even that can be done through sign language. And in English, we have certain grammar words like on, off, is. So these words, we do not have it in sign language. Sign language also includes body movements. So, like when we sign, for example, when we sign for the word train, or when you sign for the word elephant, or if you sign like for showing a door is opening, so including the hands, including the facial expressions, we also have body movements. So all this put together makes a beautiful sign language. So Neeta says, thank you. I think the next slide is for Rahul. Rahul, are you ready? Rahul, can you just switch on your video so we can see you? Okay, Rahul hasn't switched on his video yet. So, Gopalakrishnan sir, would you like to continue? Yeah, now we can see Rahul. Okay, Rahul here. Hi, everyone. So right now we are going to talk about a little some of the misconceptions that people have with regard to sign language. The first thing is when a deaf child is born, so they think that it is because of some previous sin that has been committed in the previous birth and has been related to that. So it's nothing connected with that at all. So please don't have this misconception that if a deaf child is born, so it's related to the past life and something like that. So it's all connected to the genes, like it's all some kind of defect in the genes or probably some kind of defect, a physical defect in the body. So that is the reason a child is born deaf. So please don't have the superstition that, like a child when it's born deaf, it's related to the past birth. Another misconception is that people think sign language is the same throughout the world. So it's not, that's not correct. So each and every country has their own sign language, just like how we have spoken languages. Here in India, we have Hindi. In France, they speak French. So each country has their own languages. And similarly, they also have their own set of sign languages. So in India, we have Indian Sign Language. I hope that is clear. The third one is all deaf people can speak fluently like a hearing person. But that is completely wrong. It's not very easy for a deaf person to speak as fluent as a hearing person. So they might be able to produce or pronounce some of these words correctly, but they can't be as fluent speakers as a hearing person. The other misconception is if to gain the attention of a deaf person, you will have to shout to get the attention of a deaf person. This is completely wrong. There might be some of them, maybe those who are wearing hearing aids or they have cochlear implants, they might be able to, hear this shout. But Anita, I cannot see Rahul's video.
Oh, is that I'm able to see him? Is that better now for you? Yeah. Okay.
Okay, now it's okay. So in order to get the attention of a deaf person, what you could do is you can either tap on his shoulder or, like if he is some distance away, then you can either bang on the table so that they can feel the vibration. Because deaf people are able to feel some vibration. So if you shout at them, it's definitely not going to be useful. And some of them think that you have to speak very slowly to a deaf person so that they can understand. It really doesn't, that's completely not correct. It is okay if you speak normally. There's no need for you to speak very slowly. They might get confused if you speak very slowly. So if you want to speak to them, you can speak to them in the normal tone. And next, people think that if deaf people learn speech or go for speech therapy right from childhood and later on learn sign language, people think that sign language will hinder or hamper the speech. That is completely not true. So sign language does not hamper speech. So in fact, for example, if If an Indian person who speaks Hindi goes to another country, okay, another country, and there they have a different language. You know, like if a person goes over there, he learns that language, acquires the language of the different country, then he comes back to India. So he has the knowledge of both the languages, so he can use both languages anytime he wants. So similarly, sign language is also language that you can acquire. So that definitely does not hamper or stop the speech of a deaf person. The next one is, there's a misconception that the signs that are used in sign language, the different signs, are invented by hearing people. That is completely wrong. The sign language is a natural language which has been evolved from the deaf people, the way they communicate and everything. So it's all evolved from deaf people because deaf people needed a way to communicate with each other. So they have formed a communication system. So the sign language has been evolved from them. There's also another misconception that sign language, some countries borrow sign language or some of the vocabularies from other sign languages. That is also not true. Each and every country has their own sign language and their own vocabulary. In case a country does not have a particular sign language, does not have a sign vocabulary for a particular word, they might borrow it from other sign languages. In case in future there is a new vocabulary, a sign vocabulary invented for that particular word, then the sign which has been borrowed from other languages are not used anymore. So that's how the language develops. So these are some of the misconceptions about sign languages. Thank you.
Thank you, Rahul.